Hi traders, and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, 𝖢𝖥𝖣yi, Senior Market Analyst. Today I'm going to be going over the Australian dollar versus the US dollar in our technical outlook, and we're going to be taking a look at some of the data surrounding Aussie US dollar and some charts and levels to watch towards the end of the video. So again, we're going to take our same process here. We're going to look at the fundamental analysis. We're going to look at our strength and weakness analysis and our seasonal reports in this video. And then we're going to look at our strategy setup. So we've had some data this week already from the RBA. They held interest rates at 4.35%. And we haven't really seen much change in the statement. If anything, the RBA are pretty okay with everything at the moment. Australian sort of the economy in Australia, is still fairly weak. There's not much in terms of growth, okay, over in Australia at the moment. So the likelihood of them hiking interest rates is very, very unlikely unless we did see some kind of random spike in inflation. But global inflation is on the decline, and I don't really see the RBA going anywhere near a rate hike. So we can throw rate hikes off the table. And they held rates at the 4.35%. Going on to some seasonal analysis then. Well, May is a pretty poor month for the Australian dollar. We can actually see it's one of the worst performing months for the Australian dollar out of the entire year. The second, or the top I should say, is actually August. August is usually a pretty bad month for the Australian dollar as well. So May is typically seasonally bad for the Australian dollar as well as stock markets as well. So it'd be interesting to see if we get a similar setup going into this year. When I look at the currency strength and weakness, the Australian dollar actually gained a little bit last week, went to +3, and if I'm looking at Aussie dollar versus the US dollar today, and the US dollar actually lost some ground. So from a sort of technical standpoint at the moment, the market is still fairly bullish. And if we go take a look at the market, we can see that, where is the market making higher highs and higher lows in this overall range that the market has been in. And this is a daily chart, okay? So what I'm looking at here essentially is the market basically going to find a top here? Like I said, we had a bottom down towards 0.64. Market made higher highs and higher lows, and we're in that sort of secondary phase on the daily chart, which means that we probably could see another run to the highs potentially, okay? Now, that may obviously lead to our seasonal play, where if we fail to make a new high and price kind of stalls here, then we could see a potential for the market to continue to move lower back down towards that 0.64 lows. But essentially, I think if price stays below this 0.6550 handle, then the likelihood is that price is going to move more to the downside there. Now, if I go over to the 4-hour time frame, typically what we would see in that daily secondary phase, okay, which is this move here at the moment, we would see lower lows and lower highs from a H4 time frame. That's exactly what we've got: lower high, lower low, lower high. So essentially, we've got two options here. We try and stick with the sentiment of the daily chart on the secondary phase, okay? So if the market pulls back, let's say, to previous structure lows around 0.66 handle, and it rejects, okay, that could be a good idea to potentially look for shorts. Now, I would only look for short term, and what I mean by that is I would be taking a two-position approach on this particular market. I would be taking some first profits off the recently formed lows. I'll be moving my stops to break even and seeing if this is the start of the seasonal play, because we do have to be very, very careful that price on the daily chart, okay, so the daily chart, we have to remember price is in the upward trend. Okay, so I don't really want to go against that at this current moment in time. I want to be looking to trade with the overall daily trend. So what I need to see is essentially does that secondary phase just fade into a bigger move because of the seasonals in the market? So that's what I'm going to be looking for going into this week. Thank you for watching the technical outlook. If you did enjoy it, please leave it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Do you think the Australian dollar is going to perform as it does typically through the month of May? Cheers, guys.